This one, I think that this one's definitely worth talking about because I really don't know. It's tough for me. There's different people in the chat here every day, and I don't know where everybody's at in their own personal Bitcoin journey. But I think that this is a pretty standard recommendation for everybody. And this is something that I don't want you to wait. I don't want you to say, I'm going to do it next week. I want you to do this today. So it says just in Coinbase is down as Bitcoin pumps from Bitcoin News. And I don't know if they're up now. This was from yesterday. Coinbase went down 350,000 views. I think that Coinbase is going to be in a lot of trouble in the future. I really do. Things are not trending in their direction right now. They got a lot of bad press. They have issues with their BlackRock Bitcoin that they have. They got called out by Larry Fink last week saying that they need to do a better job of verifying that they actually have the Bitcoin. And I think that this was a good example of that. I think that they went down because they don't have the Bitcoin. And I think they went down because they can't afford to sell any more Bitcoin because they don't have the Bitcoin. Pure speculation, just my opinion. No provable evidence there, but I don't think the Coinbase has the Bitcoin. And that there's two implications to this. Number one, if you are somebody out there, just an average retail Bitcoin holder, just delete Coinbase, delete your account, get whatever Bitcoin you have off of Coinbase, put into cold storage, delete your account, and never think about them again. They are not a good company at all. So that's just one example, though. And I think that as we go into this bull run, we haven't seen anything for 4 years right now. And so if you're somebody who hasn't been here since the last bull run, when things run, they go fast. And if you're somebody planning on buying or selling any Bitcoin, you want to have the ability to do that when the time is right. And when you have an exchange like Coinbase or Binance or Kraken or Gemini, these bigger exchanges, every time the price runs up or down, they go down for maintenance, exactly like this. It happens every time. And this thing hasn't even started yet. This is like a 5% gain. So I guarantee that when we actually start running, all of these exchanges are going to go down for maintenance because they can't afford to sell their Bitcoin. Because, my opinion, they don't have the Bitcoin. So my suggestion there would be to, regardless of what exchange you use as your main one, hopefully it's not Coinbase, but whatever exchange you're using to buy and sell Bitcoin, make sure you have 3 of them. If you have one exchange, that's a single point of failure for you. And if you want to buy, let's say that Kamala Harris ends up, I'm going to use air quotes again, winning the election, because I know that she would never, ever, ever win that election fairly and honestly. But if, let's say she ends up winning and the price crashes down to $10,000, flash crash. And you're like, holy shit, I've been waiting forever for this to happen. I have some dry powder here that I've been saving for something like this. I'm going to buy it. And all of a sudden you go into the exchange that you usually use. And because everybody else is trying to buy Bitcoin at that time, they go down for maintenance. So in that situation, and it could be the opposite way. Let's say that you've been holding onto some Bitcoin specifically labeled for a new set of golf clubs, whatever that is. And all of a sudden the price shot up to 300,000. I like that scenario better. But so it shoots up and you want to sell some Bitcoin and all of a sudden their exchanges are down. You can't sell your Bitcoin and you miss out on that opportunity there. So if you only have one exchange that you're going with, that's a problem. That's your single point of failure there. So I would suggest using a minimum of 3 exchanges. You don't have to buy and sell from them, fairly and equally, but just have an account set up there. Because when that happens, you're not going to be able to just go set up an account at Bitcoin Well and be approved and verified by the time, because it happens very fast. Trust me. I tried doing it at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. one time on Friday night. The Bitcoin price crashed in half. And I went to Binance to try to buy some, down. There's not a more sickening feeling that you can have than that. You see the price, you see how much you're going to get, and then all of a sudden you log into your exchange and it's down. I would not wish that feeling, especially if you're like a Bitcoiner and you have a very long-term vision of this thing and you understand how rare that is to be able to get Bitcoin at that price. It's a very sickening feeling. So if you're in Canada, if you're in the US, I would suggest using, these are the kind of exchanges that I have heard good things about. I haven't used all of them since I'm in Canada, but Bitcoin Well, for sure. If you're in Canada or the US, make sure you get yourself a Bitcoin Well account. Bitcoinwell.com/Jor. They're a sponsor of the show. They give away free sats on the show every day. I think the least we could do is just set up an account there and, show some back. Bull Bitcoin is another one here. I think it's Canada only though. They're a great exchange. ShakePay is okay. They're definitely more on team government, I think, than team Bitcoin. River in the US, I've heard a lot of good things about. They also show proof of reserves, which is a big one. So I think that River is probably the best exchange in the US, aside from Bitcoin Well. But that's what I would say on that. And one thing on that too, just in case there's anybody who hasn't been here for a while watching the show today, you can go to bitcoin.org. I'm going to bring it up on the screen here. You can go to bitcoin.org and you can go to resources and you can go to exchanges and you can see all the different options here that you have. So there's peer-to-peer. You got BISC, BitQuick, HODL. No one's buy Bitcoin. I don't know what the hell that is. But then you can click on your country too. So North America, Canada, and it shows which ones are Bitcoin only as well, which is pretty badass. So you see Bitcoin Well here is, what happened? Bitcoin Well is Bitcoin only. Bull Bitcoin is Bitcoin only. ShakePay should be Bitcoin only, but they're still for some reason selling Ethereum on there, which I absolutely despise. And the rest of these are all have casino coins in them. So you can go to whatever country you're in. Look at the US as well. These are the ones in the US. Bitcoin Well. There we go. I did a pretty good job of advertising there for these. So Bitcoin Well is Bitcoin only. And River Financial is also Bitcoin only. And Swan Bitcoin is Bitcoin only. Some more air quotes there. Swan is losing touch with Bitcoiners, it feels like right now. So there you go. Go to bitcoinwell.com if you're in Canada or the US, bitcoinwell.com/Jor, and get yourself an account there. You get some free sats too for signing up. 5 free tosses into the well. So heck yeah.